So graphing ratio tables. There is a graph that we always use now. It's called the coordinate plane. All right. The coordinate plane is formed when you have two number lines. You got one number line that's horizontal. It goes left to right. Looks like this. Okay, that's called the x-axis. Okay, the one that goes left to right, that number line there, because we got 0 right here in the middle, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, that's the x-axis. Now, the one that goes vertical, like this, when they intersect, is called the y-axis. And it's just like a regular number lines, because anything that goes below 0 is going to be negative. And all the ones above it are going to be positive. All right, so that is a coordinate plane. All right, so when two number lines intersect like that, all right, so we have our y-axis is the vertical one, and we have our x-axis is the horizontal one. Where they intersect at, this point right here, that is called the origin. Okay, that's where it begins. And that point is just 0, 0. That is your starting point. It's like any part in a race. You have a starting position. That's where you always start, the origin. All right? Now, what you're also going to see now, from now on, it's called an ordered pair. So an ordered pair looks like this. You got parentheses, you have your x, your comma, y, and then in parentheses. This is an ordered pair. This is what we use to graph on a coordinate plane. All right, you always put x first, you always put y second, always. That's how it's written. You can always remember it as like being the alphabet. X always comes before y, okay? So, what they're gonna have you do is fill out, just like what we did on the last one, is fill out those ratio tables, and then they're gonna have you graph the numbers that you found, the ratios basically. So, let's look at example number 2 first. So tickets to the school play cost $3 each. The cost of 1, 2, and 3 tickets are shown in the table. So they've already done the table for you. You don't even have to do that part of it. That's the best thing about these. Usually they do the ratio table for you, so you just got to graph it. So they want you to list these as ordered pairs. Okay, they told us that number of tickets is there and cost is there. What is this right here, the x or the y? What comes first? The x. Okay, so number of tickets is representing our x. Y is represented by the cost. So if I were to write these out, you always go these two together, those two together, and those two together. So I'm going to start with that 1. All right, so is 1 our x or a y? It's our x. So we go 1, comma, 3. It's first order pair. The next one would be, so we have 2 and 6. What goes first? 2, comma 6. And then the last one would be 3, comma 9. There's your ordered pairs. So now using these, you can graph them because we have our ordered pairs. So I'm going to go back on my own. Not big enough. Never mind. We're going to stay on this. So we take this first one, and when you go to graph, all right, you always start down here at 0, 0. You don't put a point. That's where you start. It's like starting a race. All right. So I'm going to start here. Now, since it's 1, 3, it's positive, so I'm going to the right. So I go over to 1 and go up to 3. And that's your first point. The next one was 2, 6. So I go over to 2, up to 6. There's your next point. And then the last one is 3, 9. So I go 1, 2, 3, and then go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And those are your 3 points. Okay? So that's how you graph on a coordinate plane. Not all that difficult. All right? So go ahead and try to do 1 and 2. So all you're doing is graphing them. Do not forget to label them because that is a point. So that's point S and point T. So let's graph these. So we got point S. So point S is 1, 3. So literally I start here at 0, 0, that origin. I go over to 1 and we go up to 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you just label it S, just like that. All right, and then the next one was T at 4, 0. So we're at the origin. I go over to 4, But I don't go up or down. It's 0, so I literally just stay right there at 4. And it's point T. So whenever you have a 0, you just literally stay where you're at. You can't go up or down any, or left or right. It just depends. Okay, any questions on graphing those? All right,